Hi everyone, David here. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for coming back for another video, or welcome if it's your first one. Thanks for joining us. Are you doing okay? Yeah, I'm doing okay. It's getting cold. We're right in the middle of autumn now in Japan. I'm waiting for the leaves to start changing colour because that's the best time to kind of look around some like parks and things like that. Actually, that's the topic of today's video. I want to talk about autumn. I did a video a little while ago about summer, if it's really that hateful a season, and spoiler alert, it is. But please check that out if you're planning your calendar when to visit Japan. I'm going to do the same today. I'm going to talk about autumn, especially in Kansai, because that's where I am, and talk about nice places you can go, what seasons are the best, like what months are the best, and what other kind of things you can enjoy. So before I start, please like this video, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please leave a comment. Do you have any questions about traveling in autumn or any other season? And also, what's the other one? Share this channel to anyone who you think is visiting Japan soon. This might be very useful for them. Okay, so what can we say about autumn? Firstly, when does autumn start? Now, of course, that depends where you are in the country. In Kansai, and I think to the same extent Kanto area, the autumn officially starts in September, but don't believe that. I think the actual autumn feeling that you're looking for is not going to start until kind of mid to late October. The summer heat is starting to die down. We've had quite a late summer this year. It's been hanging on to like 30 degrees for quite a while. But yeah, so from mid-October, that's when things start to cool off a bit. It's not cold yet already. I'm saying this in the middle of November. I mean, today it's a little bit warm. We're kind of low 20s and quite sunny and nice. But we have had a few really cold days where it's been sort of struggling in the teens. This is Celsius, by the way. I don't know about Fahrenheit, sorry. So yeah, autumn's definitely kind of here. Especially nighttime, it's getting really cold. I've had to switch out my wardrobe a little bit to keep warm even in my house. I really don't want to switch the heater on yet because I want to save a bit of money, but well, I guess it's going to happen soon. Autumn is mostly famous for the autumn leaves called momiji in Japan, which is the Japanese maple leaves. You might also hear the word koyo, which is more about like the red, I think that's the same kanji. It's like the red maple leaves. So it's like the autumn leaves basically. That is very spectacular in Japan because they have a lot of trees that turn like bright colors. So there are a few places I recommend in Kansai to visit. The number one probably is Kyoto. There are a lot of places around there. Just as it is in spring, it's famous for cherry blossoms, but in autumn you can see some really nice displays. I'm talking about places like Kiyomizu-dera, Kiyomizu Temple, which is in the kind of east side of Tokyo City, Kyoto City even. There are some really nice ones. If you go there, my recommendation is to go early as you can possibly wake up. Maybe like 7:30 might be a good time to arrive there. Because the tour groups won't have arrived yet and you have a bit of peace walking around because it can get really crowded around Kiyomizu Temple and like Ninenzaka, it's kind of a slope down. I've done a whole video about this. I did a walking video a few years ago about that, so please check that out if you just want to live vicariously through me walking around. That's one option. That's good, but also I like Nanzenji, which is a little bit further north from Kiyomizu-dera, so which is still on the east side. It's actually fairly decent walking distance, maybe takes about, I don't know, 20-30 minutes from there on foot. It's a little bit of a pain to get to by public transport. You can kind of get close-ish to it, but maybe walking might be a good option. That's really nice. That's got some big temple. It's got a big, what's it called? Sammon, I think, which is like a big gate building you can walk through. And there's some nice gardens as well around there, like Japanese gardens. I enjoyed those last year. So Nanzenji is very good. It's got a big aqueduct as well. It takes the water from Lake Biwa all the way to Kyoto, or used to. So that's a nice kind of photo opportunity. So I like Nanzenji. Elsewhere in Kyoto, there are a lot of other kind of, not in Kyoto City, but outside in Kyoto Prefecture. So not too far away is Arashiyama, which is famous for its bridge, Togetsukyo, which is like the moon viewing bridge or something like that. So it's a nice wooden bridge over the river, and there are a lot of temples around there. The main street is also super crowded. It's a very popular touristy place. So yeah, be aware of that, what's going to happen. But the good news is it doesn't take too much work to kind of get off the main drag and enjoy a little quieter part of the like a suburban Arashiyama residential area. So especially it's famous for its bamboo forest. You'll see that in a lot of tourist information. But if you go all the way through that and kind of keep going, you can get into sort of nice residential part with some other temples and shrines. So I really like that part of it instead. I've heard, I haven't been there yet, but Kameoka, which is connected to Arashiyama via a kind of a special railway. That's supposed to be really nice and a bit less busy. I want to try that out this year if I have a chance. So that's, yeah, Kameoka. And you can enjoy the Sagano line, the Sagano Romance Train, I think it's called, Romantic Train, which is a purpose-built like viewing train. So it's got big windows. It's even got like a roof windows, like a skylight on the train, so you can kind of enjoy the 360-degree autumn leaves feeling. Yeah, so that's a good place in Kyoto. There's places like Kurama and Kifune, which are neighbouring little towns. That's a little bit of a trek out of Kyoto. You have to take the Eizan Railway, I think that's what it's called. There's a special railway leaving from Demachi Yanagi Station that can take you to Kurama and Kifune. It's kind of like a foresty town. It's very sort of not really special displays, but it's nice because it's the forest in autumn. So you might want to try that too. That's also good in summer. They have what they call Nagashi Somen, which is like a kind of little flume, a little water shoot thing that you can get noodles out of. It's a bit expensive though. I really want to try it one day. Maybe when I'm super rich, famous YouTuber. As for Osaka, of course I've got to say about that. There aren't really many huge places to go in the city. Osaka Castle Park is quite nice. To be honest, I feel that is better in kind of early December or mid-December, because a different tree starts to change colour, which is the ginkgo trees. I forgot what they're called in Japanese. No, it's gone. Anyway, they're the ginkgo leaves. They've got these really stinky berries that fall off, and that's really not very nice. But the leaves stay out for quite a while, and they are like really bright yellow. So there's a route in Osaka Castle Park which has a load of these ginkgo trees. That's one of the outer loop paths on the kind of east side. The same can be said for the Midosuji Street. If you go during the daytime, you can see all the yellow trees down the big main boulevard down the middle of Osaka. That's also nice when it gets dark because the illuminations come on too. The Midosuji illuminations are very popular and really beautiful. I went there last year or 2 years ago, and it was really nice. It was a lot more beautiful than I remember when I used to work in Namba. Also in Osaka, not Osaka City, but north of Osaka is Mino City. It's a little easier to get there now because they have the extension to the Midosuji line and the Kita Osaka Kyuko kind of collaboration line. That will take you all the way to Mino if you go to the end. Mino City has, there's a lot of maple leaves there. There's a nice waterfall. It's not a really hiking route. It's just like a fairly steep walking route. It's not too challenging. I hate hiking, so even I can do it. That's really nice and really crowded as well because they're quite narrow pathways. But I recommend doing that if you have a chance. You can also try the momiji tempura, which is the tempura fried maple leaves. So that's kind of interesting. They're crunchy and sweet. So there we go. Yeah, those are some of the big main spots in Kyoto and Osaka. But other places are still good. I mean, go to Nara. There's a lot of greenery there. That'll be quite nice. You can see the deer. Yeah, all over the place really. Go to Koyasan if you're here a little bit early. Koyasan in Wakayama is a nice place to go. because it's up on the mountain, so it's colder earlier, and so the leaves change earlier. So maybe kind of early November might be a good chance to go there. Now, what else can we do in autumn? So food is kind of a popular thing to check out. They have a lot of kind of limited seasonal foods. At the very start of autumn, in kind of mid-September, they have the tsukimi foods, which is basically the normal menus with an egg on top of it. So you get like the McDonald's zucchini burger, which is a hamburger with a fried egg on it. Also things like pumpkin is in season. You probably imagine that around Halloween, but maybe not like the big orange Halloween pumpkins, but yeah, that's popular. Mushrooms as well. You'll see a lot of mushrooms available on menus, and some seasonal fish. There's one called the I think it's called a Pacific Sori. I've recommended, check that out before I've translated it. It's called sanma in Japanese. That's a popular fish in this season too. Maybe a little bit earlier in sort of late September, early October. That might be good too. I think that's most of the food as well. Yeah, so I think autumn is one of the best seasons to visit. Unfortunately, it's quite short. The drop off from summer to winter is quite steep. You might see some memes about that kind of thing, how quick the autumn goes past. So please, yeah, time your trips if you really want to see the autumn leaves. I'd say the best time to come would be, I don't know, kind of mid to late November. It depends on the year as well, because we've had a very warm late summer. You might have seen on the news that Mount Fuji didn't have any snow for quite a while. I think it's had its first snow now, but that's the latest it's ever happened. So things are getting a little bit warmer in Japan, especially this year. So leaning towards the end of November, or maybe even early December, that might be a good time to come to see the Koyo Momiji autumn leaves. Yeah, so that's it really. I mean, in terms of festivals, there's not much to see. Most of it happens in summer. If you're in Osaka during kind of the early part of September, you could see the Kishiwada Danjiri festival. But yeah, I mean, festivals are local and they happen all times of the year. So check out if you're interested in that. Okay, I think that's all I want to say about autumn. But yeah, I recommend it. This is my favourite season, I think, because we're through summer finally. Yeah, it's getting a bit cold, so I'm going to finish off there. So thank you for watching. Please like this video if it was entertaining. If you don't like it, you can dislike it too. Some people have been doing that, but I think it all counts towards my engagement, so whatever. Please subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate that a lot. Leave a comment or a question, and please share this channel to everybody you know. That'll help me a lot too. So take care, keep warm, and see you again soon. Bye bye.